God is dead. God remains dead, and we have killed him, Friedrich Nietzsche wrote in 1882. To understand what the German philosopher meant and what he thought of men, morality, and society as a whole, we collaborated with Professor Stephen Hicks on this Sprout special series. Part 1. God is dead. For thousands of years, humans have been religious, but in the modern world, religion has become a shadow of its former self. Nietzsche's dramatic phrase, "God is dead," is meant to capture the shocking quality of this revelation. For those raised religiously, religion personalized the world. It gave them a sense that the world had a purpose and that they were part of a larger plan. It gave them the comfort that, despite appearances, we are all equal and cared for, and that upon death, instead of a cold grave, a possible happily ever after ending awaits. But in the modern world, we find it increasingly hard to believe those values. We have seen the dramatic rise of science, which has offered less comfortable answers to questions religion traditionally had a monopoly on. We have thrown off the shackles of feudalism with its unquestioning acceptance of authority and have become more individualistic and naturalistic in our thinking. But in historical time, all of this has happened very quickly. For millennia, we have been religious, but come the 19th century, even the average man had heard that religion may have reached the end of its journey. For most of us, even the suggestion of this hints at a crisis. Imagine a 13-year-old who is awakened in the middle of the night to be told by strangers that both his parents have died. He is suddenly an orphan. For as long as he can remember, his mother and father were present in his life, looking after him and guiding him. Now they are gone, and ready or not, he is thrust into that world alone. How does the young teen handle that sudden transition? Culturally, Nietzsche says, we are like that young teen. For as long as we can remember, our society has relied upon God the Father to look after us. But now, suddenly, we are orphaned. We wake up one morning to discover that in our heart of hearts, our naively childhood religious beliefs have withered. So now, whether we like it or not, a question creeps into our minds. How do we face the prospect of a world without God and religion? In the 19th century, says Nietzsche, most people did not face that question well. Most people avoid the issue, sensing that even to raise it would be to enter dangerous territory. Life without religion is too scary to contemplate, so they retreat to a safety zone of belief and repeat nervously the formulas they have learned about faith. Slightly better to Nietzsche, but not much, are the socialists of the 19th century. Socialism is on the rise, and many socialists accept that God is dead. But then they are very concerned that the state take God's place and look after them. The mighty state will provide for us and tell us what to do against the mean people of the world. Think of it this way. The Judeo-Christian tradition says this is a world of sin, in which the weak suffer at the hands of the strong, that we should all be selfless and serve God and others, especially the sick and helpless. And that in a future ideal world, heaven, the lion will lie down with lamb, and the inescapable power of God will bring salvation to the meek and judgment to the wicked. The socialist tradition says this is a world of evil exploitation, in which the strong take advantage of the weak. But we should all be selfless and sacrifice for the good of others, especially the needy, from each according to his ability, to each according to his need. And the forces of history will necessarily bring about a future ideal world that will end all harsh competition, empowering the oppressed and eliminating the evil exploiters. Both religion and socialism thus glorify weakness and need. Both recoil from the world as it is, tough, unequal, harsh. Both flee to an imaginary future realm where they can feel safe. Both say, be a nice boy, be a good little girl, share, feel sorry for the little people. And both desperately seek someone to look after them, whether it be God or the state. So where, asks Nietzsche, are the men of courage? Who is willing to stare into the abyss? Who can stand alone on the icy mountaintop? Who can look a tiger in the eye without flinching? To be continued. Nietzsche, who was born in 1884, was not only a fierce critic of church and socialism, but also nationalism and anti-Semitism. His strong moral stance meant that he openly condemned many of his intellectual friends and even broke his relationship with his own sister, who married a notorious anti-Semite. So, what are your thoughts on Nietzsche? Do you agree with his understanding of the world we live in? For more information about this extraordinary man and his impact on our society, check the descriptions below. There you'll also find a link to Stephen Hick's full account of the German philosopher. This and all other Sprouts videos are licensed under Creative Commons. That means teachers from all around the world can use them in classrooms, online courses, or to start projects. And today, thousands already do. To learn how it works and download this video without ads or background music, check out our website or read the description below. If you want to support our mission and help change education, visit our Patreon. That's patreon.com/sprouts.
Shalom, shalom, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Racha Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Akian. And you can see clearly, okay, the headline of this article, which of course I'm sure you watched the video that I uploaded, okay, I rather I posted, that was the beginning of this lesson, okay, going into this German philosopher, okay, which it was a small heart, but anyway, Frederick Nietzsche, okay, and the theory rather that he proposed, saying that the most no let's not say the most high, but rather God is dead, okay, and that's what this article is going into as well. I was trying to do some looking into or concerning religious atheism, and that's when I saw this. I decided to do a video on this. So the title of this video is the article, is God dead? Okay, the most popular quotes from this individual, Frederick Nietzsche, basically going into the Most High being dead, okay, or rather God being dead. Let's not say the Most High, because it was a statement made in a broader sense. In other words, all gods, including idols and including the Most High as well, have become dead because of human advancement, quote unquote. Okay, so the question of the article is God dead? And the answer is, the technical term for teaching that God is dead is theothanatology, a threefold compound word from Greek: theos meaning God, thanatos meaning death, and logia meaning word. German poet and philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, or Nietzsche, I don't really know how to pronounce that word, is most famous for making the statement God is dead in the 19th century. Nietzsche, influenced by both Greek philosophy and the theory of evolution, wrote, God is dead, God remains dead, and we have killed him. How shall we, murderers of all murderers, console ourselves? Is not the greatness of this deed too great for us? Must we not ourselves become gods simply to be worthy of it? Nietzsche, the gay science, okay, and this is going into the book that he wrote, okay. And the background story for this is basically that he wrote in his book concerning this that what he was trying to explain, or rather, what he was trying to say is that, oh, well, because of the advancement of man in science and technology, we no longer have need for a god or formal religion or anything like that, because now we have the answers that, and this is something that atheists say a lot. Well, oh, well, Christianity and religion and this and that can't answer any questions. It's all fairy tales, it's all fables, okay? That's basically the same thing that you are seeing here with this whole God is dead thing. Now we have science. Now we can prove all things, which of course they can't. Now we can prove all things, so there's no longer any need for us to follow these so-called fables, okay, or these fairy tales that is in God and religion and all that. And this is basically more Bible coming from all these people out here, all these atheist types that don't believe in a higher power, okay? So the first precept we'll get is just to clear the airs concerning what it means to believe in the Most High, okay, and to believe in a power, okay? Even more so, the right and the correct power, which is the Most High, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh, because the scriptures say, the fool saith in his heart, there is no God. Okay, let's get that. You have to bear with me. You have to bear with me if I sound a little tired, okay? But anyway, Psalms 53 verse 1. To the chief musician upon Mahalath, Mashil, a psalm of David, the fool hath said in his heart, there is no power. Corrupt are they, and have done abominable iniquity. There is none that doeth good. Okay, that's basically all you need to get concerning that. Okay, that's the response for all these atheist types out there that say that there is no God, or that, oh well, the Most High and Christianity, the Most High and the scriptures and so on and so forth are fairy tales. Okay, because these are the points that a lot of these people in the world like to use, that somehow, some way, science is some kind of amazing, thing that can answer all the questions which the people have, when in all actuality, it really can't, okay? Because what question has, especially the science that Esau pushes, and even the scriptures warn you about sciences, man, okay? These are these so-called advancement in sciences, and what it actually is, it's not an advancement, okay? It's a regression. You people are not progressive. You people that think that because you live in this modern world, in this modern age, with all this fancy technology out here, that you are somehow more advanced than your ancestors or anything like that. You aren't actually. Okay, but the way of this world and the wickedness that is being pushed in this world, it shows that you are actually less, okay, advanced and more regressive, because you push the ways of death, okay? You have brought death into this world, okay, through your wickedness and through your philosophies. And now you believe you are more advanced when you don't even know how to give yourself or give this world life, okay? And one of the arguments of Frederick Nietzsche is that with the advancement of science, you will see, and I'll get that, with the advancement of science, okay, you will see less and less people, wanting to be religious or wanting to believe that there is a God, and you will see a rise in something called nihilism, which of course is in the scriptures, showing you that, we have the truth, okay, because let's get that, okay, because the fall of religion and belief in a power, in a power, okay, and the rise of nihilism is in the scriptures, and this is it right here. Matthew 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Okay. So the rise of this nihilism, isn't because of, okay, people starting to lose faith or lose belief in religion, which of course that is happening as well. But it's more so because of the wickedness that has exceedingly polluted this whole earth, by the way of the wicked being in rulership. because everything, it all goes back to the same power, okay, to the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh and the scriptures and this truth. So this is this is the definition of the word nihilism, a viewpoint that traditional values and beliefs are unfounded and that existence is senseless and useless. Nihilism is a condition in which all ultimate values lose their value, a doctrine that denies any objective ground of truth, and especially of moral truth. So basically, what a nihilist is somebody that doesn't believe in anything or has no hope in anything, okay? And of course, you can't be a nihilist and be in this truth because we do have a hope, our hope in Yahweh Shai, okay, and their deliverance and the kingdom, but this is what you get when you have wickedness on the earth, okay. This isn't it. I don't know that I got, I don't know where okay, yeah, it is. This is what you get when you have wickedness all over the earth, man. People out here looking for, as the scriptures say, when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. And now the people are mourning because they're not under a righteous rule. Okay, and that's why you're seeing the rise in wickedness upon the earth, but you have people out there that will think that all these things are happening, for no reason, okay? Okay, and they will say things like this when they don't realize that this ultimately, okay, what you see happening on the earth, the advancement of, or rather the so-called advancement of science and technology, it's all being done, all being orchestrated by Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh, okay? Because you say you increase in knowledge, you increase in understanding, you increase in, you advance to the point where you can understand the creation, okay? But then because you understand the creation, you now see that, oh well, the creator does not exist anymore, okay? And let's get that precept, because they put more value, and that's the thing about atheism. You put more value on the creation rather than the creator, because you ask an atheist how, even any simple question concerning the scriptures, any simple question concerning, a more metaphysical things, okay? The origins of the earth, the origins of man, or the origins of basically anything. And they'll look at you, and they won't be able to answer it because they have no understanding concerning these things, man. So this is the book of Romans, and I'll start from verse 21, okay? So I'll start from verse 20. Romans 1, verse 20. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. And that's right. So the things that have been made, it directly correlates or directly shows that, the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai is the one that created everything. You see in creation the presence of the Creator. Okay. So now continuing from verse 21, because that when they knew the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, they glorified him not as the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. And that's right. You see the world going into the industrial revolution. You see, men bringing out technology that was thought to be unimaginable, or rather that was thought to be impossible. And instead of praising the Most High, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, okay, for what he has created, you say that, well, now that we have all this technology, now that we are moving, closer into a realm of so-called enlightenment, we no longer need to believe in a God, or we no longer need a God anymore because we can be those gods, okay? When you are simply a creation, and as the scriptures say, why is earth and ashes proud? And this is how you know that this philosopher, okay, Nietzsche, was an Edomite, man, because only an Edomite would go as far as to think something so stupid, okay? But continuing on from verse 22, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like corruptible man, and to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. And that's why you have the guts to say something like, God is dead, and we killed him, okay? Which of course the individual did not even believe in God in the first place. But all he was doing is making a so-called philosophical argument, but the point still remains the same. How can you say that God is dead? And even more so, how can you say that a mortal man like yourself ended up killing him, okay? but it shows you the pride, okay, and the abject stupidity of these people out here in the world, okay, and the fact that these people truly don't understand who the Most High is, who Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh is, okay, believing that they can say dumb shit like this, okay, and that's to make any sense, because I'm explaining this properly. He believes that, oh, well, people will stop believing in God as soon as they see, the wonderful and amazing things that the beast and his dragon, okay, the beast and his system can do, right? Which of course, he's right about that to a point. But the fact that people stop believing in the Most High does not make the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai any less real. Because we see in these times that the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai has left for himself a remnant, okay, an elect that will believe in him and that will keep on prophesying and this, and professing his truth upon the earth. And I said prophesying twice, but you get the point, okay? There are still people that will believe because there is always a remnant, even though everybody else has been deceived by the beast and his system, okay? And that's exactly what happened to this Nietzsche, okay? He's another victim of the wine of Babylon the Great. So continuing on. So this is continuing on from verse 24 now. Wherefore the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai into a lie, and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. Okay, and that's right. So they honor the creations, okay, and the creatures more than the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. That's why they can say something like, and let's go back to that. Let's read the quote so that it won't be as though I was the one that said it with my own mouth, okay? Because this is what he said. He said, God is dead. He said, God remains dead. And he said, and we have killed him, okay? We being humanity or humans, which of course is not only a preposterous, blasphemous statement, but is a complete lie, okay? Because the Most High still lives and the Most High He is, okay? Even before and even after creation, He is, okay? I believe even the scriptures tell you that's who the man that was, that is, and is to come. That is speaking about Lord Jehovah. The Most High is the ancient of days. That's what I was trying to get here. The ancient of days, okay, that has no beginning and no end, okay, and something that has no end cannot be killed or cease to exist, okay, like you philosophers believe. So just from that statement alone, you already understand that this philosopher Nietzsche, okay, Frederick Nietzsche, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he does not understand what a power is or what the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai is. Okay, so now, and he's trying to raise up humanity to that standard as, oh, we have the power or the ability to kill the Most High, okay, with our ideology, with our belief, by refusing to, or rather by no longer, worshiping or needing Him. Like there will ever come a time that, people will stop to need the Most High, which giveth men all things, okay. Who do you think gave you life? Who do you think put that stupid thought in your head to say things like this? It's the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, man. But these people out here in the world, and that's why I'm actually doing this video, because a lot of people out here in the world, they think like this. They think that, now that we don't have, now that we are so advanced scientifically and we have science, okay, which of course what we have isn't actually science, it isn't real science, okay, it's pseudoscience. And you are seeing this more and more in these coming times, how the devil is using so-called science, or in other words, which of course you know what the word science means, okay? The root word for science in the Latin scienta, which means to know. He's using he's using what, or rather, he's using your knowledge against you by giving you false information, and you call that science. And even the scriptures tell you and warn you about sciences falsely called that, you know. Because as long as, one of these crackers in a lab coat comes before you on the TV and tells you that this is the science, you people out here, especially you Israelites, you are more inclined to believe that than the actual truth with verifiable evidence, and when you bring an actual truth with verifiable evidence, when you bring out the truth that all this information they are hearing that is being called science, okay, was fabricated, but that people don't want to believe that. They rather believe this pseudo-science, okay, with this false science that's being pushed upon the earth right now. First Timothy 6 verse 20. O Timothy, keep that which is commanded to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science falsely so called. And it's a damn shame, when someone that is as religious as me has to come out here and call out the wicked science that's being taught, okay, or the false science that's being taught, okay, because what is this kingdom built on? It is built on lies and deceit, okay. The kingdom of lies and robberies, as the scriptures say. I've forgotten how it goes. So but basically, this is a kingdom built from lies and deceits. Okay, and the biggest lie that is told that concerning our people is lies concerning the Most High and concerning who we are and our heritage. Okay, that's why Job 9 verse 24 says, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and it covereth the faces of the judges thereof." So continuing on, and not didn't just cover out the faces of our forefathers and our patriarchs, but also our faces as well, to keep us in darkness and not to see the truth, to see the light, okay, which is in Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh. And then they come up with, schools of thoughts and philosophies like this, which is basically madness, okay. This is the kind of thing this is witchcraft right here. What you're seeing right here, this philosophy right here is witchcraft, man. This is the kind of thing that you get stoned to death for, okay, in a world that actually has some form of sense, but because he was saying these things before these Edomites, okay, and of course the wicked of our people that were right there during that time, nobody did anything against him, okay. We're continuing on. Nietzsche's purpose was to abolish traditional morality, Christianity in particular, because in his mind it represented an attempt of self-serving religious leaders to control the weak and unthinking masses. Nietzsche believed that the idea of God was no longer necessary. In fact, God was irrelevant because man was evolving to a place where he could create a deeper and more satisfying master morality of his own. And that's basically the concept of this whole God is dead thing. Basically, what he's saying is that we no longer need God, or we no longer need the Most High, because we can bring salvation, okay, and righteousness to ourselves, okay. And that is what Esau Edom is teaching our people right now. I mean, that they can bring you salvation. Let's follow these devils, okay. Esau Edom, the Edomites, because that's what all this is going into. It's all simple gradualism to lead you to the conclusion that at the end of the day, Esau Edom is the God. Because when you say we no longer need the Most High, or we no longer need the power, the man in the sky, right? What they're trying to say, they're trying to direct you to the next great authority on the earth after the Most High, which is the beast and his dragon, okay, or Esau's system. And that's why you have so many people today, they are already wholly given to this system and worshiping it because this is their God, okay? The dragon with the 7 heads and the 10 horns, this one, the EU, this government that is ruling over the earth, this is their God, okay? But let's just continue reading on, because his argument is pretty self-explanatory, okay? So continuing on. Nietzsche's God is dead philosophy has been used to advance theories of existentialism, nihilism, and socialism. Radical theologians such as Thomas J.J. Althusser and Paul van Buren advocated the God is dead idea in the 1960s and 1970s. They believe that God is dead and religion is irrelevant naturally leads to the following ideas. And this is what Esau is pushing on the earth, that to create faithlessness and godlessness and wickedness upon the earth, by pushing these ideas out there, okay, to remove faith from the earth, especially faith in the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, because they have no understanding as concerning these things, okay. but they make it seem as though they know what they are speaking about. And that's why the scriptures say, professing to be wise, they became fools. Okay, because they simply don't have any wisdom, knowledge, or understanding, especially concerning the things of Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh, and the things of the world. When I say the world, I don't mean the carnal world that Esau has created, but the real world, okay? The world that was created by Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh, okay? Because that's what we are living in right now. This kingdom that Esau Edom has built up is basically like the Matrix, when you're living in a virtual world, in which oh well, the most high doesn't matter, God isn't real, this and that. But in the truth of the in truth, man, in all actuality, you are seeing, okay, we that are in this truth, we're not living in this virtual world right along with them, because we know what the truth is, and we know, that the most high is out there, okay, he is very much real, and he is influencing, the thoughts and the actions of this earth right now. And the reason why you're seeing things happen on the earth is not because there is no God, but rather it's because there is a God, okay? And the plans of the Most High and the plans of the Most High, His, will is being done upon the earth. So continuing on from this article, it talks about more some ideas concerning the belief that God is dead. If God is dead, there are no moral absolutes and no universal standards which all men should conform. If God is dead, there is no purpose or rational order in life. If God is dead, any design in the universe is projected by men who are desperate to find meaning in life. And it just goes on and on with more of this pseudo-scientific babble, okay? But we that are in this truth, you already know, okay, what the real deal is, okay? This man is just a false prophet, okay, a liar, okay, that doesn't understand the scriptures, no understand the truth, okay. He's one of those people that bring out information, okay, or rather pseudo sciences, okay, and they make all these statements without any understanding, without any knowledge, okay. They speak knowing not what they're actually speaking about, okay. I want to get a precept going into that, they have no knowledge concerning the things of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. That's why the first precept we brought out in Psalm the 53rd chapter, the fool seeth in his heart there is no God. Okay. They have no understanding about that. So let's no, I think I also leave it. I don't really have much else to speak concerning this, okay? Because it should be very clear just how ridiculous this philosophy sounds. So with that, now I'll leave it right there. So once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Bahasham Racha Kwadash, Wa Abad Babal, Shalawam.